everybody, it's Wendy, and today I have for you a tutorial on a double flat spiral stitch bracelet. So that's what these are. This is a double, um, and as you can see, it's just the flat spiral stitch. There's some pearls here, 4mm bicones and 3mm bicones. This one has a magnetic clasp, and this one falls off really easily because of the magnetic clasp. I don't advise using a magnetic clasp on a bracelet. I've worn this one several times and nearly lost it. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I might have to try to change the clasp on that one. This one I just made yesterday. It is using 8mm pearls, and it is very substantial. It's a big piece, and I have trouble getting this clasped by myself over here, but it does have crystals and a loop closure for the clasp, which I think is really pretty. But the 8mm beads make this a very substantial piece, so just know that ahead of time. It's heavy. Let's see what else. We've got this one. This one I made with moonstone, and oh, I love this one. I wear it a lot. I always get a lot of compliments when I wear these flat spiral stitch bracelets. They're just they look really intricate, and they're not at all hard to make. They're very easy. Once you understand the stitch, they're super easy to make. And then the last one is this one. And I like it really well too. Look at the bicone sparkle on that one. It's got Jet AB bicones in it, so it's just beautiful. And then this is a single flat spiral. So we're going to make the single first today, and then we'll attach the double to it, but you have to make a single before you can do the double. So if you don't like the double, if it's too big for you, you can just do the single. And these turn out really pretty too. So, okay, that's what we're going to do. There's several different ones. I've made a lot of these because, like I said, they're fairly easy to make, but they're a little time consuming. They use a lot of material, but like I said, they're not hard to make. So here's the difference between an 8mm and a 6. If you don't like big, bulky jewelry, then you probably do not want to go with an 8mm bead. Now, I think it looks beautiful on. But again, this is a 6mm, and it's a little more supple, if you can see that, and just a little more petite on the wrist. So let's get a supply list together. So the first thing you're going to need is some fireline. I'm using 6-pound fireline, and this is a number 16 beading needle. You can use whatever you want. There's really no trouble getting through the holes on this, so you don't really need anything that large. I'm using a bead bug as my stopper. You can use a stop bead if you don't have bead bugs. I'm going to do a double closure with toggles in rose gold. I'm using 6mm goldstone beads on this one. I absolutely love goldstone. So if you're not familiar with goldstone, hopefully that shows up. It is a gemstone bead, and look, it's got, oh, it's just beautiful, like stardust inside. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's so pretty. So that's a 6mm bead. You can use anything. You can use fire polish. You can use, it kind of needs to be round or rondelle. I've never tried it with a 6mm bicone. I don't know, you may be able to do that, but I haven't tried that. But yeah, and then you're going to need a 4mm bicone, and these are Magma, I think they're champagne jade, imitation jade Magma AB or something like that. I don't know. They're really sparkly. And you're going to need some size 11 seed beads. Now these are rose gold, and these seed beads are not very uniform, so we're going to try it with these. I'm not sure how it's going to work out though. They're really not very uniform at all. So they're cheapo seed beads, but yeah, we're gonna try it and see, because I like the rose gold. I think it's pretty. Okay, so that's really all you need. Maybe some scissors to cut your thread, but that's about it. So the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna thread your needle. I've got 2 wingspans on. You don't have to use that much, obviously. Just thread your needle with whatever you're comfortable with. I would say a wingspan and an arm span would be enough to do at least the first bracelet. We're going to make 2, like I said, and connect. So yeah, put your stopper on the bottom. You don't need to leave hardly any. I mean, just leave like just barely enough to tie off at the end. Like really, you don't need much at all, just enough to tie a knot. And just make sure that's on there really good. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to pick up 2 of your goldstone beads, or your 6mm beads. Pull them all the way down. Okay. And then for the 8mm beads, I used 6 seed beads, then a bicone, then 6 more seed beads. Now you'll have to adjust the amount of seed beads depending on what beads you're using. If you're using a 4mm, obviously it'll be smaller or less. But I'm going to try here and see. I think 4 seed beads, a bicone, and 4 seed beads will work. Now, if it doesn't, and if you end up with like extra thread showing, or it's, you know, it's like there's slack in there or something, you can change it, but that's what I'm going to try for. Okay, so bring all this down, and here's what you should have on your needle. Okay, now I'm just going to wrap this around and see. I may have too many beads, but let's try it. So you're going to go from the bottom up through both of your 6mm beads. Okay, and what that's going to do is that's just going to wrap it around your beads, just like that. Whoops, I pulled my whole thing right off the table. Okay, that's exactly what you want right there. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing again. Pick up, if you're using a 6mm bead, it looks to me like 4 seed beads works pretty good. A bicone and 4 more seed beads. Like I said, with the 8mm, I had to use 6 seed beads. Okay, and then you're just going to take your piece and grab it. It's a little fiddly at first till you get a few. You're going to go back up again on the other side from the bottom up through both of your beads and pull it up. And here's what you've got. Now, it's going to flip around a little on you and be a little bit wonky at first. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. But you should have basically this. Okay? Now, from this point on, it is very, 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 very important that you keep this laying exactly this way. You don't flip it, because all of your spirals, if you look here, find one that's easy to see. You want all of your spirals to go the same direction, like be on top. You want the new one to be on top of the old one the whole way up, and if you flip this back and forth, it's going to mess it up. So pick up a 6mm bead, bring it down, okay, and just try to keep it laying there. You can pick it up, just make sure that you keep it laying to where these beads are going to go on top of these beads. Okay, it's got to happen that way or it's going to be weird. So you want your new strand of beads when you go around here to be on top of this old one. So pick up 4 size 11s. Oops. They're all falling off my needle. See, these seed beads are so uneven. I'm trying to at least... And this is pretty forgiving. I mean, this... it doesn't really matter. I mean, they can be a little, they don't have to be exactly uniform in this, but you don't want them to be too crazy different either, you know. So 2, 3, and 1 more. So I'm just trying to find 4 that are similar. Okay, now here it is. I didn't flip it. This is the way that it was, and we're going to go up through we're using the one we just put on and the one right below it. We're going up through the one right below it and the one we just put on, and just put your fingers there and hold it and pull all the way through. Okay, just like that. Now see, you want to make sure that this lays on top of this one. Okay, just like that. And just try to keep it that way so this doesn't get flipped. Okay, so pick up 4 seed beads. A bicone. And 4 seed beads. Okay. Just making sure I had the right amounts on there. Okay. Now we need to surround this side, and we want to make sure it's on top of this. So we're going through the second one and the first one, just like this. Pull it through. Just pull it through, and you can flip it over there where it needs to be, because they're all going to be a little wonky at first. They're just kind of difficult to deal with at first, but just flip it over there where it needs to be and pull tight. Lay it down on your table, and make sure when you lay it down that these both are on top of these bottom ones. Then the new row you put on, you want on top of the bottom row, and just pull tight. Okay, and you can make them lay the way they should. Just it's all going to come together here. Pick up a 6mm. Okay. Pick up 4 seed beads. Pick up your bicone and 4 more seed beads. Okay. Now, we're wanting to put this one right here on this side. So we're just going to go up through the one below and the one we just put on. And pull. Okay, just like that. If they flip, like see how that one got underneath there, just put them back the right way. Make sure they're all laying correctly. This one's on top of this one. This one's on top of this one. Okay. And we're going to do the other side. So 4 seed beads. A bicone. And 4 more seed beads. Okay, now we're going to lay it on this other side. So go through the bottom one and the one right above it. Pull it through. And you can pick it up and hold it. It's way easier. If you do, just make sure when you lay it back down or when you check it that you get all the little all the little ones are laying right. So see how these are. Okay. So pick up another 6mm. Just make them sit how you want them to. These will all, they won't be flopping around like that later. Okay. Pick up 4 seed beads. One bicone. 4 seed beads. Here's what we've got on our needle. And we're going to lay this one this way, wrap it right here. So we want to go down the one below and the one we just put on. Just like that. Okay, pull it tight. And see how these are flopping around? We are going to fix that later, so they won't be doing that when you're done with your bracelet. So there's what we have. Okay, pick up 4 seed beads. The bicone, 4 seed beads. Okay, and we're going to go up the other side. So go the one right below and the one you just put on, up through the bottom of them. And pull. Okay, just like that. There it is. And that's what you're going to do till you get to the length of your bracelet. Now with my 8mm one, I think 2, 4, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I had 19 beads. So the 6mm, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So you just want to make sure when you put it on that you have enough room for your clasp, and you know that it's not super tight on your wrist, but you want to do it to length, and like I said, account for your clasp and the loops here. Okay, so just keep going till you get to the length that you need, and then come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I'm back and I've got my bracelet to the length that I want it to be before I put my toggle on. Now, there are 19, I think. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, yeah, 19 6mm beads on here, and it's measuring right at about just shy of 6 inches. So that's about where I need it to be because I have a 6.5 inch wrist. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to put on one end of our toggle. So I am going to take 1 seed bead, 1 bicone, like this, my toggle, pull them down. Okay, 1 seed bead. If I can find one that'll work. Okay, 1 seed bead. Actually, I'm going to do 2 seed beads here at the top. Okay? And then I'm going to go back through the bicone and the seed bead and the first 3 of my 6mm beads. Okay, just like that. Pull it tight. Okay, and here's what you've got. Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to like this or not because this seed bead's not going to want to go through there and my thread is going to show. So, I'm going to have to do that a little differently. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm going to go back up through. So here's what to do if you mess up. Go back up through those beads. And of course, I was hoping it would pull out, but it didn't. So in that case, what you need to do is just take your needle off your thread. So if you have to come back out of your beads and you try to, and it doesn't just pull the thread out, like it gets hooked on another thread inside there or something, just take your needle off your thread. Let's loosen this up right here. And I'm just going to pull my thread out. And the reason that I took the needle off is because it'll just make it so much easier to pull the thread out like this. If I try to do it with the needle on there, then it's just not going to work out very good. It's just way quicker to do it this way, even though it doesn't seem like it would be. So I'm sorry, I'm off the frame. I'm pulling my thread out. So I basically just undid what I just have done because see, these seed beads I thought would fit through this toggle hole, and they're not. So a bunch of thread's going to show if I don't fix that. So let me take the seed beads and the toggle off. And I'm going to put my thread back on my needle. Okay. And these size 16 beading needles, I don't know why we don't use these all the time because they are so easy to thread. And I mean, I've not had any trouble getting through beads with them, so I don't know. But all right, so what I am going to do is I'm going to put on 2 seed beads and then my toggle top little loop here, and then 2 more seed beads. So I just need to pick big enough ones that it will block, they'll block the hole. All right, and that should work much better. Yeah, there we go. So see, when we come back through, we're going to go back through the bicone, the first seed bead, and these 3 6mm right here. Just like that. And then when I'll pull it, it'll look a lot, yeah, see, that looks a lot better. It's got seed beads on each side, and it doesn't look like it's messed up like the other one did. Okay, so now, if you notice, these little things tend, the ones on the very end here, because they don't have anything laying on top of them, so they tend to flop up. So we're going to fix that. So what we need to do is we're coming out of this third bead down our, Sadie sees a dog outside. If you can hear her, she's making all kinds of noise. We're going to go up through these 4 seed beads, this bicone, and the first 2 seed beads, just like this. These 4, you're coming out of this bead. So you want to go right around, go up through these 4, the bicone, and these 2 on this section right here beside the bead where you're coming out. Okay, pull them out, pull it out, pull it through, and then if you look, you're lined up seed bead to go right into this bicone, and if you hook those together, then it's going to make them lay down and not pop up. So we're going to go, we're coming out of this seed bead right here on this row below, so we're going to pop right over and go through this seed bead and all 4 of these seed beads above it. We're going to go through this bicone and all 4 seed beads above it. I think I said seed bead, I meant bicone, and why can I not get through those seed beads? There we go. So the bicone and the 4 seed beads right above it. Pull it on through. Okay. And this is what you've got. Now, we have a couple little spaces here, and I think what I'm going to do is just add in a couple more seed beads. So I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead just to fill that in, and I'm going to go back down through these 3 6mm beads, just like we did a minute ago. I'm just going to put a seed bead right here and go back down through these 6mm beads. Whoops, and pull my whole thing off the table. And get it tangled up while I'm at it. Alrighty. There we go. And see, if you look now, let me get my thread back. What that did is it laid this little seed bead in here, so it just fills in that gap. Just like that. Okay, so now we're coming out of this third one, and we want to hook this side down now to the, so it doesn't flop. So we're going to go right here through these 4 seed beads, the bicone, and the next 2 seed beads, just like this. We're coming out here. We're going to go through the 4 seed beads, the bicone, and the next 2 seed beads. Pull that on through. Okay. And then, if you notice, we're lined right up to go into this bicone. So we're going to cross over to this first row, go through the bicone and these 4 seed beads right here at the top. We'll put us coming right out the top. Okay, there you have it. And see what that does is that hooks this down to the second row so these first 2 rows don't flop. Okay, now I want to put a little seed bead in here to fill this in, so I'm just going to pick another seed bead up. Try to find one that's, there we go. okay? And I'm going to go right up through this seed bead right here, and the bicone, and the 2 seed beads, just like that. Seed bead, bicone, and 2 seed beads. And now we're just reinforcing this loop. Okay? Go through your toggle loop right here, and back down through these 2 seed beads right here, and the bicone. You may have to do it if you can't get through all of them at once, that's fine. So just go through the 2 seed beads, go through the bicone and your top seed bead right there, and then down through the first 3 of your 6 millimeters. Okay, and what that did is that just reinforced that loop, so now it's stronger. Okay, so now we're just going to go down through all of the center beads, these spine center beads on our bracelet. And I can usually get through about 3 at a time. Just go down through all of them till you get to the bottom. Keep on going. There we go. Down through the bottom. And down through the last 2 till you come out the very first bead on your whole bracelet right here. Okay, just like that. I'm going to remove my bead bug, and I'm going to tie an overhanded knot right here, just so we can get rid of the tail thread. Okay. Actually, I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, which means you go through the loop twice. Just pull it tight, and I'm not going to cut it just yet. I will here in a minute. Okay, so pull that tight. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put on this end of the clasp. So, pick up a seed bead. Trying to find one that matches the other end. A seed bead, a bicone, 2 fairly good sized seed beads so that they will block the hole, because we want it to match what we did up there. Our toggle bar, 2 more fairly good sized seed beads. I mean, these seed beads are so uneven that I have here. They've got like tiny ones and huge ones, like super skinny ones and super big ones. Okay. Then just move your tail thread out of the way for a minute. You're going to go back through the bicone, the first seed bead on your row, or on your little thing there, don't forget it, and the first 3 of your 6 millimeter beads. Alrighty, there we go. Pull it through. Okay, and that should put your toggle bar on. Make sure before you tighten it up too much that it's not flipped under like mine just did like that, because that would be bad. So let me fix that. Okay, now, yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's what you've got. Now, you can go ahead and cut that tail thread. I just wanted to make sure that we were kind of past it good enough to where it didn't pull loose or anything. Okay, so now here we are. Let me flip this over. We're coming out of the 3rd bead down on our row. And I'm on the wrong side of my bracelet, so let me come through here. Okay, there we go. So we're on the third bead down. Make sure that's kind of tight up there on the top. Okay, so we're going to tie these down again, just like we did before. So we're going to go up through the first 4, right here where we're coming out, up through this first 4, the bicone, and the first 2 right there, just like that. Okay, pull it. We're going to cross over here and go through this bicone and up through the first 4, or the next 4 on that row. That's going to tie that row down. Okay, we're going to pick up a seed bead because we're going to fill in this little space right here. Okay. We're going to go back down through these top 3 beads, 6mm beads, just like this. Okay. That's going to lay that seed bead in there. Now we're going to tie this side down. So we're going to get coming out right here. We're going to go up through these 4 and the bicone and the 2 after the bicone, just like this. Then we're going to cross right over and go through this bicone and up through these 4 on the top. You got the drill down now, I'm sure. I missed that little guy. Just like that. Okay. We're going to pick up another seed bead. See if I can find one that's not too huge, but not too small either. Here we go. There's one. All right. And we're going to go right up through. Oh, let me make sure I'm coming out my 4th one here, because that wouldn't have been good. I'm only going through 3. Sorry, knocked the camera. Okay, pick up the seed bead, and we're going to go up through the seed bead, the bicone, and we're going to reinforce here. Why are you not wanting to lay correctly? What's wrong? There we go. I don't know what was going on there. Something was twisted around. Go through the 2 seed beads here. My toggle. And these 2 seed beads right here. Okay, just like that. Ow, I just poked my thumb. Try not to do that. That hurts. All right. Then go back down through your bicone, back down through the seed bead below the bicone, and down through your first 3 6mm beads. Okay, just like that. And you have completed your first side of your double flat spiral bracelet. Now the second side goes a lot quicker, but first of all, we want to tie a couple half-hitch knots. So I'm going to tie in between these beads. I'm just going to catch the thread, the center thread. Now don't catch the side threads where these spirals are added on. Just catch your center thread under your needle. Just like that. Can you see that? I've got the center thread under my needle. Okay, I'm going to do 2, a surgeon's knot, go through twice, just like that. Pull it tight. Okay, then I'm going to go down through a couple more. I'm going to tie 1 more, just the same way. Go through the center thread. Come on, get through there. Yep, there we go. Surgeon's knot. I pulled it out. Let's try that again. Okay, carefully pull it, tighten it up. Go through a couple more beads here. That's going to put you coming out close to the middle of your bracelet. Pull through, and you can cut. Okay, now I've got about, I don't quite have a wingspan on my needle, so I'm going to rethread my needle here with a wingspan. Let me get these out of the way. Got a mess going on here. I just want to make sure I have enough thread. I hate to run out of thread and have to put thread on in the middle of a project. So I'm going to do a wingspan. That should be plenty. Okay. And we're going to add on the second spiral. Now this is really easy. It's a lot easier really than making the first one. I need my glasses on because I can't see to thread the needle. Alright, get the needle threaded. Okay, now if you look at your bracelet, I'm going to flip it over to the side where all of the ones are on top of the ones that I did before. Okay, remember how we were making sure that the new one we put on laid on top of the other one. Okay, we want to do that again. We want to make sure. So we're going to start at the bottom, just like we did before. I'm going to put my bead bug on the end and just leave enough to tie a knot, just like that. I'm going to pick up 2 of my goldstone beads. I'm going to let them drop down to my bead bug, just like this. Then I'm going to pick up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of my seed beads, 1 bicone, and 4 more of my seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're doing basically the same thing. It's just going to be a little different here in a second, okay? So you're doing the same thing. You're going up through the bottom of those 2 beads. Sorry, guys. Pulling. And there's what you have, just like the first side of the bracelet that you were making. Now, it gets a little bit different right here because we're going to attach this to this. We're just going to attach them together, okay? So pick up 4 seed beads. 2, 3. Oops, that one's a really skinny one. And 4. Okay, now we've already got the bicone here. We don't need to add a bicone. We're going to take the first, we've got the first 4 seed beads on our needle. We're just going to sew right through this bicone like this from the top down, okay? And pull it tight. And this is going to be a little wonky for a minute. It's okay, it will work out. Just put it on there like it needs to go, line it up, set it next to it, and then you're going to add on 4 more seed beads. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you're going to pick it up and go up through the bottom, just like you normally would, through the 2 6mm beads and out the top, and pull it. And pull it tight, and there you have it. So you have attached your second row to your first row. Let's get the little tail thread out of the way. Okay, just like that. And it's the same exact thing all the way up. I'm so sorry, I keep hitting that camera, it's getting in my way. So we're going to add 1 more 601, or 60, size 6mm, just like we did before. And we're going to add 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, and I'm kind of calling them out as I go because some of them look a little weird. And then we're going to pick up our 6mm bicone and 4 more seed beads. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so just like before, this is what we've got. Now, just like before, you want to make sure this one lays over top of the previous one. So go up through your bottom or your second bead and the one you just put on. Okay, and just try to hold everything steady. I know it's a little weird at first. It's going to move around some. Whoops. Try not to get a knot like I just did. Okay. And just pull it through. And when you get it pulled through, you can line it all up like it needs to go. Okay. See how this one's flipped back here. We'll fix him. We'll fix that one. And just pull tight. Okay, and there it is. It's on there just like we need it to be, right over top of the bottom one. Okay, so then we're going to pick up 4 more seed beads. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to go through. Now, you have to be careful here because you can go through the wrong bicone real easy. So, line it up. We've got our 3 beads lined up with our 3 beads here. We want to go through this bicone right here. We don't want to go through this one, okay? And if you do go through this one, you'll immediately be able to tell because it'll look really weird. So go through this bicone right here, just like that. Pull it. It's going to attach it right on there. Pull tight. You need to keep this pulled tight if you can. I know it's weird right now, and I'm actually going to take this bead bug off because I think we're far enough into this that it's, well, maybe it's not going to come undone. Lay everything back like it needs to go. It's a little tricky at first, but it'll get easier when we get up into the bracelet. So there's what we've got. Add on 4 more seed beads. 1, 2, whoops, that one's way too skinny. 1, 2. I like these rose gold seed beads, but they are so uneven. I don't even know where I got them, but they're not even at all. Okay, so here we are. We're coming out of the bicone right here. You can see that. We need to go up through this bead and this bead. Just pick it up a minute and try to hold it with your fingers and pull it through. And there it's hooked in. So it gets easier as you get up through the bracelet, but you want to make sure you pull your tension tight. You don't want big pieces of thread showing, so keep your tension pulled very tight. Okay, now we're going to add on another of our 6 millimeters. Okay, just push it right down there. Okay, and it'll line up. The more you get up the bracelet, the easier it's going to get. It'll line up itself. So put on 4 seed beads. 2, 3, 4, and a bicone. And 4 more seed beads, just like before. We're not changing anything on this side. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Then we're going to go from the second bead and the last bead we just put on. We're going to go up through the bottom of both beads, just like this, and pull. And there you have it. And we want to make sure that it's laying on top, and it is. And we're going to pick up 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here's where you gotta be kind of careful. So let's look. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 beads. We want it to lay right here, so we need to go through this bicone right here. Okay, right directly across from this bead. So we're going to go through it, top down. Whoops. And then we're going to pick up 4 more seed beads. 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to go back up the second bead and the bead we just put on. The bead below and the one we just put on. Okay, here we go. Pull it tight, and there it is. It's connected. Okay, so we'll do one more, and then I will let you do the length of your bracelet, and we'll come back and add the other 2 clasps on. Okay, so make sure that you're pulling tight. I can't stress that enough. You don't want loose threads in there, so make sure that you're pulling that really tight. Okay, pick up your 6mm bead. Drop it down. And pick up 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a bicone, and 4 more seed beads. Okay. All right. We're going to go down to the bead below the one we're coming out of and the one we just put on. Now, if you look here, I made a mistake. I went through this seed bead when I came back up through the beads, and you don't want to do that, so I'm going to have to fix that. So I'm just going to take these off my needle. I didn't realize I did it till just now. But if you do that, it just messes things up with your bracelet. But can you see what I did? I came out through this seed bead. I caught it when I came up through the beads. So I'm just going to try, get everything off of here. I'm just going to try to go back through this seed bead, and hopefully that will take it off, and I'll just get, it'll come cleanly out. We'll see. Hopefully I won't have to take my thread off. Okay, so let's go back through that seed bead. And it did. Okay, see, when I came up through the beads, I caught that one, and you can't do that. It'll mess things up. So now we'll add this guy back on. If you catch that you've done that, then just undo it right away, because if you get way up here, then you've got a big mess. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be horrible. It wouldn't show that much, but I don't know. I like it to be like it's supposed to be, so. And we pick up these 4. Okay. So we're good now. So we're going to go back down through the one below and the one we just added on from the bottom up, just like we've been doing. Okay. Pull tight. Add on 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's pick this up and look at it. So here we are. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're lined up straight across. So we need to go through this bicone, not this one. Make sure you go through the one that is in the middle of your 2 beads that you're adding, that you're working with right now. Okay. And it is definitely better if you don't get a knot. I've had a lot of trouble today with knots, it seems like. It's been one of those days. All right. So there we have it. We just connected to our bicone right here. And we've got to get 4 more seed beads. 3 and 4. And we're going back up through this one and the one we just added. Okay. And pull it. And just straighten everything around and pull tight. And there's what we have. So we've now connected the bottom 5 beads. So you're going to do the same thing all the way up till you're coming out your very top bead, and then come back and we'll finish adding the clasps and we'll be done. Okay, so we have got to the end of our bracelet, and we are now coming out of this top 6mm bead. So this is what it looks like. This is what mine's looking like. I think these turn out so pretty. So we're going to go ahead and put on the toggle. And I put away my bicones for some reason. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so pick up 1 seed bead. Let me move these over here. Okay, so 1 seed bead, 1 bicone, 2 more seed beads. These need to be fairly decent size ones so they don't go through the whole of your toggle. I don't know if those two are going to do it. Let's try this one. Goodness knows I've got enough weird big ones in this. There's big and teeny tiny. It's strange, but yeah, we'll go with these two. Okay, then the bar part of my toggle. Alright, pull that down. 2 more seed beads. There we go. And we're going to go back through. Don't quit hitting that camera. We're going to go back through the 2 seed beads here. The bicone, the first seed bead we put on, and the first 3 of our 6mm beads. Okay, just like that. Just go way back down through the whole thing. Okay. And my seed beads, why are they looking weird? Oh, what did I do? I went back through the 2 seed, okay. Oh my goodness. Alright, sorry guys. I went back through the 2 seed beads that I shouldn't have gone through, so you don't want to do that. If you did it like me, oh no, and now I've got this. Oh, sorry guys. I'm getting tired. That's part of my problem here. So let me undo this like I showed you before. Just take your thread off. I think this is where I messed up before too, isn't it? Probably. But I just was on the phone with my son for a long time, and he's telling me how in Huntington, West Virginia, there's no toilet paper either. And there's no toilet paper here in Fayetteville. Chris went out the other day to get a little bit. Not because we're hoarding it, just because we needed some. And literally could not find any in all of Fayetteville. And he found 2 boxes of facial tissues, and he grabbed those and felt lucky to get them. So I don't know what people are thinking. People are just insane. But yeah, we're not going to die, all of us, because of lack of, I don't know why people are buying toilet paper. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know. Hoarding it right up. Panicked people. Panicked people. It's ridiculous. Alright, so let's not go through the 2 seed beads. Let's go through the bicone, seed bead, and the 3 6mm. But yeah, Logan's like, yeah, it's weird. It's here in Huntington too. There's no toilet paper. Strange, strange. Okay. Alright, so same thing with this side. We don't want this guy flopping around. Now this guy's not going to flop around because he's connected over here. But this guy we don't want flopping around. So we're going to go back up through these 4 seed beads and the bicone and 2 of the ones above the bicone, just like that, just like we did on the other side. Then we're going to go through this bicone on the front one and the 4 seed beads. Okay. Now, we need to add in the 2 little bicone or 2 little seed beads here, so these threads aren't showing. So grab a seed bead, go down through this first and second 6mm. That'll lay it right in there. We're going to sew back up through the outside here, these 4, and the bicone, and we're just doing this to get back to the top so we can put in that other seed bead. Come on now, go through there. There we go, just like that. Okay. Go back through these 4 seed beads right here. Just like that. Okay, pick up your next seed bead. And we're going to go back down through this first and second 6mm again. And that should lay that one right in there. If it twists around, just grab it and make it stay. Okay, then we're going to go back up through this 4 seed beads, this bicone, and the seed beads on the top, just like that. Go back through this one that we just added. Now we're going to reinforce our clasp, our loop, so we're going to go up through this seed bead right here, and the bicone, through these 2, just like that, through the toggle, and down through the other 2 seed beads on the other side. Couldn't get them all in one, had to down through this one, through the bicone, through the seed bead, and then head straight down through the 3 beads here, the 3 6mm. Okay, just like that. And we just reinforced our little loop up there at the top. Now we're going to sew all the way down through the 6mm middle beads until we get to the bottom. So just go all the way down through them. Just like this. If you can get through 3 or 4 at a time, however many you can do. Just don't poke your finger. It hurts when you do that. All the way down through here. Look at these goldstone. Aren't they pretty? I love the glittery shine of them. They're just beautiful. Okay. And we're going to come out the last 6mm. Just like this. And we're going to take our tail thread. Let me turn this around so I can try to keep it in frame. Because I'm working with limited space here for some reason. It seems smaller than usual. I need to back up a little. That would help. I'm like way down on my beading mat. Okay. And let's go ahead and tie the tail thread. Just do a surgeon's knot. Okay. Now, find my needle. Okay, so we've got our surgeon's knot tied there. We're going to go back down through these 4 seed beads right here, because we're going to, and down through the 2 right here, just like this. We're doing it the opposite of the way we did it coming up. We're just going to go back down since we're already at this spot. Okay, then we're going to go through this bicone right here, and these 4 seed beads right here below it. That's going to hook those 2 together so they don't flop around. And we're going to go back up through all 3 of these 6mm right here. Okay, coming back out the top. Now let's tie one more surgeon's knot with the tail thread just to be safe. Okay, and now we're going to put on our clasp. Okay, so we're coming out the 6mm right here. Just put those where they belong. We're going to pick up a seed bead. Let me find a fairly thick one. Okay, a seed bead, a bicone, 2 thicker seed beads so they don't go through your clasp, your loop of your toggle, pull all those down, and 2 thicker seed beads. That one looks okay. All right, now I won't make the mistake I did on the other one. Go back through the bicone and the seed bead at the top, and then down through 2 of your 6mm. Okay. And now if you want to cut your tail thread, you can cut your tail thread off. If you have a thread zap, you can burn it. Mine broke or quit working. Okay. Alright, and there's what you've got. Now we're going to add in the 2 seed beads to cover these threads. So sew back up through all of your seed beads on the side here, your bicone, and the top 4 seed beads. Right here. Okay, pick up a seed bead and add it in right there. And go back down through these first 2 6mm, just like this. And it fills that right in. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to go up through the 4 seed beads right here, and the bicone. And it keeps wanting to go out the other side. I don't want it to. There we go. 4 seed beads in the bicone. Back up through these 4 seed beads right here. It's hard to hold this in with the camera in the way. Okay, right up through there. Grab another seed bead. I'm trying to find a... Here's one over here. That'll work. Okay. And go back down again through these 2 6mm. Just like that. Make sure nothing's tangled up. I've got something looped around something here, and I need to fix that. What is looped around what? What did I do? Did I go through the... No, it's just... Yeah, I just got it tangled up. Yeah, it's easy to get these things tangled up. Okay, there we go. Alright, now we're going to reinforce our clasp, and then we're about done. So go back up these 4 seed beads on this side, through the bicone, and up through the top 4. Okay, go up through the seed bead here, and the bicone that are holding your toggle on. Don't get it tangled like I just did again. Okay, go through the 2 seed beads, your toggle clasp, these 2 seed beads over here, and the bicone, back down through the bicone, back down through the seed bead, and back down through 2 or 3, if you can get it, of your 6mm. Okay? Now, we're going to tie a couple knots, surgeon's knots. I'm going to tie one here on the middle thread, just like we did before. 1 and 2. Okay, go on down through a couple more. Just like that. Tie another surgeon's knot. One and 2. Go down through a couple more here, whichever one you come out of, and cut your thread. And there you have it. I've got a terrible mess on my bead mat. Look at all these seed beads everywhere. But there is our double flat spiral bracelet. I think these are so pretty, and I love the goldstone. If you can see the shine in those goldstone beads, they're so pretty. I won't attempt to buckle these by myself because Chris always has to help me. But yeah, it looks so pretty on the wrist. It looks intricate and, you know, very complicated, but really they're not that hard. So, but I think they turn out just fabulous. So thanks for sticking with me through this entire tutorial. I know it's been really long, but I didn't want to just do the flat spiral in one video and then do the double flat and tell you to go back and watch the video for the flat spiral. I just don't like to do it that way, especially for beginner beaters. I think it's better just to do the whole thing together in one video. At least I like it better that way when I'm watching videos of people. I don't like to have to go watch one video and then come back and watch another one. So I don't know, that's just me, but that's how I did it this time. So thank you for sticking with me. It was really long, and I'll put my information in the description box below, but I do have a website. I have my Etsy store up and running, and yeah, I'd love it if you guys would visit and check it out. And like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more tutorials, more videos like this. Yeah, I would love to hear from you if you want to comment. And yeah, I think this turned out really good. I think they're beautiful, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspires you to want to make your own double flat spiral bracelet. All right, you guys have a great rest of the evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.